All right, guys. Fula coming to you with another live stream. Uh, Last night, I guess, since it was kind of a little bit, I guess you can say, since it was a little all of a sudden, I decided not to do the live stream. But there's something that we really have to address. Uh, First and foremost, I should start by saying, hold on, just give me a minute. I just want to go ahead and say this before I begin. And it's, although there may be some language that I shouldn't, there shouldn't be, there may be some language in which I shouldn't say. Uh, I will say it, but at the beginning of this, I mean, I think it's important for me to just basically give salutations. Thank God that He has enabled that He has enabled us to, or enabled me to have a platform to do this, and also I guess I can basically also send salutations to his last prophet, the Prophet Muhammad, alayhi salatu salam. Although the subject matter may not align with the Prophet, alayhi salatu salam, would like for us to talk about, but we have to talk about, you know, due to the situation that we are in right now. Now, first and foremost, when you when you think about when you think about the importance of your health, right? You know how they say health is wealth, right? That's across the board. It's across the board, meaning your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, your financial health, your emotional health, you know? Um the problem is, however, if you decide to mess with a Western woman, those things are going to be in jeopardy. If you mess with a Western woman, your financial health is going to be in jeopardy. Your physical health is going to be in jeopardy. I mean, we saw what happened with, unfortunately, the untimely demise of PNB Rock. May Allah have mercy on him. Um, your financial health is definitely going to take a hit because of the simple fact that, I mean, honestly, to mess with any of these women now, you have to be you have to be rich, and even that's not enough most of the time. I mean, we see it firsthand. We see these men spending lots of money on plane tickets, flying them out. We see $300 dinners, $400 dinners. Maybe not 300, $400 dinners, but dinners where she expects you to pay for her friends. We see all of this, front row and center. So here's the thing. There's one hadith that the Prophet alayhi salatu salam said. Um, Now, I'm not going to read from that hadith. Hold on just a minute. So there's actually a hadith, um, and we're gonna do a commentary on the hadith. Okay. Um, so on the hadith, um, it basically said, the Prophet alayhi salatu salam, he said, you know, um, there's an evil omen in the woman and the horse and the horse. And so the breakdown of that hadith is basically, let me see. Let me see real quick. Okay, and in Islam, we're kind of not supposed to believe in bad omens, right? But there are hadith in regards to this. Okay. Um Now the thing is okay. So it necessarily doesn't mean a bad omen, but for example, like it could just mean like trouble may be there for the trouble may come to you basically if you mess with this, if you if you find yourself in this situation. For example, um you may live in a house that's too small, or you may be around neighbors who cause trouble, so that would be considered like all bad for you. um Now, in terms of the woman, in which we need to look at, um maybe it's a bad omen that you know she doesn't produce children, or she has a sharp tongue, or she behaves in a suspicious manner. And we know that, like most of the modern women behave in suspicious manner. We understand that right off the bat. I mean, you see all on the reaction videos about how they behave. So, what I'm saying is that, you kind of have to look at yourself and ask yourself, what is more important to me? Is my physical health important to me? Is my mental health important to me? Is my financial health important to me? Is my emotional health important to me? Because here's the thing: modern women, they play this game of bait and switch. They say, "Oh, he wasn't emotionally available for me. Oh, he wasn't too emotionally intelligent for me." So what happens is that you, unfortunately, as the man, you let your guard down, you become vulnerable, and then when you become vulnerable, that's when she does you wrong. That's when she looks at you as a weakling. You know what I mean? So you may think, okay, I can do this with her. I'm comfortable, right? But the moment you do that, the moment you show some kind of vulnerability with her. It's the moment that her respect for you will change, and basically it's her moment that she will not look at you as a man anymore, unfortunately. So I say this to say that if that occurs, right, and she uses it against you, then imagine how your emotional health is going to be from there on out. You know, in terms of spiritual health, nothing will be added to you if you have a modern woman. I mean, let's be honest. I hate to say it. I really hate to say this, but modern women worship Birkin bags more than they do God, you know? So there's another thing I want to say. And this is the thing, this is not coming from my whims or desires. I'm actually getting the sources and reading these sources, okay? It's not like I'm just speaking out of my butt and saying, oh, okay, this is what it is. I'm actually taking the sources. So the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu salam, he said, women are the snares of shaitan. Now, what he meant, what he meant is that in regards to this, because this will have to come with you gaining your power and gaining control over yourself. But most men don't have that. That's why we have the simping epidemic that we're experiencing right now. And that's why men pay for OnlyFans, because they don't have um, power over themselves. So, because like men want women and men want companionship from women, they do like things that they lust over them, and because of this lust, it causes corruption and disintegration of family and society, and we see it happening. And the thing is because these women are not fit for marriage, we have to understand something, that men are always going to desire women, like at least straight men are going to desire women, um but if you desire them too much, it affects like certain things, and it can affect your equilibrium. I hate to say it, but I can tell a simp from a mile away, just by their facial expression and by how they look. I can tell that, okay, this guy is a simp. And so, if a man just wants to enjoy women, then he may not even look at anything else, he may it may overcome everything else, including his health. So the thing is that um the thing is that what we have to do is that if you like look at yourself like that, then you're just going to be enslaved by, number one, spending, cash apping, foodie calling these women, and then it's just going to hurt you in the long run. It's going to hurt you in all types of way, because at the end of the day, you doing this is not going to really get you anywhere with women, especially Western women. Some women will appreciate you, like, let's be honest, some women would appreciate like when a guy puts his best foot forward and things like that. But for the most part, um, Western women look at us as ATM machines. You know what I mean? And they may come on here and say, "Oh, that's not true," and stuff like that. "Oh, who hurt you?" and stuff. Here's the thing. Here's their go-to responses in regards to this. Number one, who hurt you? That's the number one response. Number two, um, mom problems. Number three, oh, you need therapy. Number four, oh, not all of us are like that. So I say this to say that at the end of the day, right, you have to protect your well-being. You have to protect your bottom line. I hate to say it, but you almost have to be selfish. And if selfish means abstaining from spending money on these women, if selfish means investing in going abroad, so you may be able to find someone that's going to be more of your speed. If being selfish means basically guarding yourself and reducing contact with these women because they are very much like evil with their intentions, then so be it. Be selfish. They're selfish, so why not you? Okay? And you don't have to do it in a way that's like a female. You don't have to do it in a way that's like a female. You can just be like, hey, I care about my bottom line. And that's just point blank. That's it. Right. So there's another thing that was basically brought to my attention. Let's see. Basically, with that hadith that women are the snares of shaitan, what that hadith means is that the devil, because he's working overtime right now, uses uh, women to misguide men, and that's what we see. We see it with the dating roaches, right? We see it with women telling. We definitely see it with women telling men what it is they want, and they want actually the complete opposite. We see all kinds of ways in which the shaitan is using women. But there were some videos that were brought to my attention. I'm going to share my screen. And we're going to get into it. Let me see. Okay, let's see. Library. And I want you guys to listen to this. And in listening to this, I want to ask you guys, hey, are you guys gonna are you have you been burnt before, or is she just making things up to justify the fact that she got burnt? I know I haven't been burnt before, but let's listen to her.
Everybody have. Yeah, everybody. Everybody either had an STD or an infection back.
So you hear her, right? And you have to ask yourself, right? Like you have to ask you, like people will ask, like me. People will ask me, like, I'm dead ass serious. People will ask me, right? Yo, how come you don't mess with all these single black women out here? And I say to them, they're single for a reason. And that reason I don't want to be a part of. Okay? They're going to have to figure it out themselves, but I'm not going to help them figure it out. Okay? And I tell them, and I hate to say that how I say it, but I tell them, I may share the same color with black women in this country, but I'm not from black women in this country. You know, I have a completely different culture, completely different customs. And those culture and customs, they wouldn't be able to handle. You know what I mean? Because it will require them to actually act right, which they won't. But let's listen to Mrs. Everybody has caught an STD.
What is this shit called? Everybody has gotten that before. And if you just lying and say you haven't, bro, then I can't. You're lying, I'm bitch. Not fucking you. I'm not fucking you because you just lied that fast. Like,
that motherfucking drive to the clinic be the worst. Like, damn.
So you heard what she just said, right? So according to her, basically a prerequisite to smash her is that you have to have a STD. Because if you say that you don't have an STD, then she says she's not smashing you. Right? So then the question then becomes like, okay, well, you know, like you say that you're not going to smash anybody who hasn't had an STD. Then does that mean that you're flaring up all the time or something like that? Is that why you don't want to smash anybody who does not have an STD? Is because you're flaring up all the time? That question must be asked. But there's something else I want to look at, actually. Let me see if I can find it. See. Okay, here we go. It's exactly what I was looking for.
First penetration among the Hausa was gradual and peaceful. Through the ages, they have been noted as a people who consider cattle to be among the most prized possessions of man. At whatever point a conversation begins today, it will inevitably return to the same subject, cattle. In a harsh environment, alternating annually between torrential rains and grinding drought, herdsmen must withstand hardship. Without complaint, they lie upon simple sleeping mats with or without shelter. When they do build shelters, they are of the minimum elegance required to divert the rain. Here they conjure their dreams of success, their desire for countless cattle, and a large family upon which to bestow them. Spouses make strong demands of each other as they work in their separate spheres. An efficient household, they reason, leads to the development of a large herd. From a large herd comes status and the best form of security they know. Though men might work together, they are not selfless. As the proverb goes, if your brother's beard catches fire, go home and put some water on your own. Cattle are tended with great care. They are like heirlooms from Fulani ancestors, and they are held in trust for unborn generations. A common proverb is, if the cattle die, the Fulani will die. Cattle surpass all things. They are even greater than one's father and mother, and more children. The only way in which they should compete with their ancestors is to have more cattle and more children. So even sexual activity should be practiced with earnestness and with reproduction as its main objective. Fulani practice a sharp division of labor. They say huts are the property of women and cattle are the property of men.
So, this is my tribe, and as you see, things are in place that will enable it to for it to function smoothly. So with that being said, the West unfortunately has gotten it into their heads that it's okay for things not to function the way they should.
Since cattle are foremost in the system and the men own them, men hold a position of authority. They demand an efficient, cheerful, and obedient wife. Women, for their part, desire a man who has many cattle, is physically tough, yet considerate.
So, the thing is, and this is, of course, this is the way it should be, in my opinion. Let's repeat what was just said.
Demand an efficient, cheerful, and obedient wife.
Efficient, cheerful, and obedient wife. So when you think about it, right, the Western woman will look at this as like, oh, you're a slave, right? But as you heard, the wife requires the man to be able to take care of him. And part of the way that you're able to take care of them are through your cattle, right? So the thing is that if he requires that, cooperation, submission, and obedience, and a woman requires, him be secure in terms of material items, then I understand that can work. The problem is here in America and in other Western countries, a woman demands a man to be financially well off, 6 figures and things like that. but she's not going to be cheerful, obedient, or submissive and cooperative to that man. So this is why more men, including me, have checked out of looking for a woman in the West. And when I say a woman in the West, I mean all women in the West. I don't just mean one certain demographic. I mean all. I mean Black American women who were brought up in the West. I mean white American women, Hispanic, Asian, African, and Caribbean who have the Western mindset. I mean, all of the women across the board, okay? Any one of them, I'm done. I don't care. Like, if they say, oh, I'm such and such, I'm like, okay, good for you. But you're still westernized and you still take on the patterns of Western women.
Women, for their part, desire a man who has many cattle, is physically tough, yet considerate. To a woman, her first duty and desire is to have as many children as possible. Just after the onset of puberty, she marries, but society grants her only limited status until she has children. When a child does arrive...
So, I mean, you even hear, you even heard that thing say that her desire is to bear children. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. Western women, like, it's been, I haven't really heard one say that their desire is to bear children. I hear like most of their desire is, oh, you know, career, boss babe, and things like that. Like, that's the desire you hear from these women. Like, they say, oh, you know, boss babe, I gotta boss up, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and nothing has to do with like wanting to just be a mother, right? And then when you ask them about being a mother, they say, oh, you're just trying to keep the patriarchy up. As a matter of fact, I was in a clubhouse room, and this one woman tried to justify soft girl era, and she tried to blame the patriarchy for soft girl era. And I'm like, get the hell out of here. You know, you got some nerve actually doing something like that. Blaming the patriarchy for soft girl era. It tripped me out, man.
It is constantly in contact with its mother. It nestles beside her when she sleeps, is swaddled when she works, be it pounding corn, cooking, or carrying water. In building a camp, the location and supply of water is one of the first considerations. Although the government windmill needs repaired, the burden of drawing and carrying water is lightened by lively female companionship. In the wet season, abundant and succulent grass allows the herdsmen to build large encampments, perhaps up to 30 huts. Here they may live for several months. Since they have ample food, spirits are at their highest, and the young dance to the beat of professional Hausa musicians. The Savannah orchard bush in the wet sea for several months in have inherited the Fulani way. As constant companions. Yet they envy no one, least of all people unfortunate enough to have no cattle, nor to have inherited the Fulani way. The special virtue out of toughness. Soro is not unlike game. They call Soro.
Okay, so that's enough of that. But you guys get the picture. You know, you get the picture that, hey, when basically people Chambandu, yeah, you get the picture that when things are in their natural disposition, it functions pretty smoothly. But when you don't have things in their natural disposition, or as we say, fitra, then you get the conundrum that we're in right now in the West, and you get the situation that we're in, you know, because it's batshit crazy, and it just leads you to say, be in monk mode, focus on yourself, and that's what you should do. Now, here's what happens when you do have a virtuous woman. Here's what happens. Now, I'm a big soccer fan. I love soccer. I love watching soccer. It's a very good sport to watch, very fun, very exciting, very entertaining. Yeah, I never heard of that dialect. The what you call it? In my dialect, we say Jamhiri, you know, and we say Jamwali in my dialect, at least. And the Nigerians I've talked to, they say Noi Hande. When they're asking about the morning, they say Noi Hande. I've never heard that dialect before, but I can ask my friend right now on WhatsApp. But anyhow, the thing is when you have that when you have that woman that's going to make things good for you, then she's an asset. Because here's the thing. We have hadiths that it says, we have hadiths that say that, you know, the world is play, and the most precious thing in this world is a virtuous wife. Now, there's a player by the name of Ousmane Dembele, one of my favorite players. Ousmane Dembele, man, when he first came to Barcelona, I'm like, this dude is a beast. I said, this dude is going to be a beast. This dude plays like Thierry Henry. This dude be dribbling niggas up. This nigga be shooting crazy goals. But there were discipline problems with him. and he kept on getting injured. Now this season, though, he's a freaking beast. But guess why he's a beast? His wife. And guess who his wife is? A Moroccan. So
she said Donald
the thing is this.
Awesome.
I met with President Trump, and I was
I don't care about this
Tiffany
damn
Smiley
ad.
still questions the 2020 election, and she's bankrolled by funders of Trump's events on January 6th. Tiffany Smiley is wrong for Washington.
Injury. It's not because brand new
So-
man.
So the thing is this. Usman Dembele, he's Malian and things like that. And yeah, he could have got a Malian woman for sure. You know, he could have found like a good Malian woman. But the thing is his Moroccan wife was probably less westernized. And I'm gonna be honest, from what I see, like especially with my cousins who living in France tell me, a lot of times a lot more of the Black African women are more westernized than the other ones. You know what I mean? And so this is probably the case that happened with Usman Dembele. But the fact of the matter is let's listen to this and let's make our own judgment by his wife.
Since his secret wedding last December, he seems more fulfilled than ever, on and off the field. After going through a difficult couple of months, in particular due to his injuries, Usman Dembele had lost his glow, and the uncertainty surrounding his contract put him under a wave of criticism from Catalans. But it seems that the Frenchman hasn't been the same for a while. He's a changed man. He no longer gets injured and lines up great performances under the guidance of Xavi, who hasn't stopped praising his professionalism. His return to the top coincides with his wedding. Could his wife have anything to do with it? Read on to find out more. Here is the woman who has changed Usman Dembele's life. It's often
So you see, they have a traditional Moroccan wedding, you know.
said that behind every great man is a great woman, right?
At least that's how it used to be.
This couldn't be more true for Usman Dembele. The FC Barcelona right winger got married last December in strict secrecy. Videos of this grand moment of happiness have been released on the web, portraying the happy couple in love and delighted to tie the knot. According to the information released by
And it's sad to say it, as sad as it is to say, guess who was hating on him? Guess who was hating on him the most? Black women. Black women were hating on him the most. And put it this way, if a guy were to take them up from one of these places, they would hop right on it. And we wouldn't say a word. We wouldn't give a shit. We would not give a shit. Okay? We wouldn't give it. Hell, I have a cousin. I have a cousin right now married to a Moroccan man. Back in Portugal. My family didn't give a shit. But the moment that this brother married his Moroccan wife, oh my God. All hell broke loose.
site info. His other half is called Rima Edbush. Born in Italy, Rima comes from a Moroccan family and lives in Paris. She's an online creator who has several accounts on social media. One on TikTok with more than 421,000 followers, and another one on Instagram with more than 81,000 followers. On her social media, Rima is known for her fashionable content for veiled women. Stylish, right? In any case, she appears to have completely calmed the Catalan number 7 by giving him a new momentum. We can imagine that she's...
So, the problem with Usman Dembele at the time was, like, I think what happened is that, like, before his marriage, I think it was a matter of, you know what I mean? He he would play video games late at night and stuff like that, and sometimes he would like not really. He wouldn't want to be indoors. He would be like, okay, well, let's hit the town. But his wife, I think, added that balance to him, and now this dude is a savage that we knew him to be, right? But the problem is that they were hating on him. Yeah, it's a worldwide thing. I mean, that's I'll be honest with you, on Clubhouse it's the worst thing that I've seen in my life. Especially the thing is that Somali women and Ethiopian women have it the worst. And I've even heard some talk about platonic relationships. And so this is how they're finished. They're finished. I told some of my family, like, hey, perhaps we can find one like back home. I'm not like doubting that, but I just tell them, hey, you may need to be prepared to have some mixed grandkids. You may need to prepare yourself for that. That you may have some mixed grandkids, that they may be mixed with Kazakh. They may be mixed with Tajik. They may be mixed with Uzbek. They may be mixed with Chechen. They may be mixed with like Algerian. I just say, hey, you may have to prepare for this,
Impacted Usman in several areas of his life. Rima perhaps has an influence on the world champion's discipline of life, which is very likely, isn't it? Dembele has been having much less physical problems. Hallelujah! The former Rennes player played 25 games in all competitions with Barca this season, with 2 goals and 11 assists. Last December, on an episode of Roten's En Flamme, a program on French radio RMC, Mathieu Bodmer, close to the Frenchman, had mentioned his recent lifestyle changes. Yes, he was injured. He's changed his lifestyle, does physio, cooks. He is fragile, but he's more professional. He arrives on time for training. These are small details that are important. Before adding and defending him by saying that his injuries were not necessarily linked to his lifestyle. He arrived 3 hours early yesterday. That's a good sign. When he gets injured at the Euro, it's a real muscle injury. It's not because of his lifestyle. It can happen because he has a fragility. He does not stay up late. Usman goes out very little. In Barcelona, whatever he does, everything is watched. If he arrives late, people talk about it. When he's early, we make a big deal about it.
And, unfortunately, brother, it's already happening. There are already Muslim women already marrying non-Muslim men. It's already happening, brother. That's unfortunately like a bygone thing. You know what I mean? And again, I say that Western Muslim women, and the only ones. Hell yeah, they are. Hell yeah, they are, and that's a good thing. That's good for us. Because alhamdulillah, I have some family in France. So if I decide to go to France, then that's a slam dunk. It's a slam dunk because they know. The Desi people, not so much. I don't think. I don't think they're marrying I don't really think they're marrying black dudes like that. I knew a Eritrean guy who was mixed with Indian. I forgot which parent was Eritrean, but I think his dad was. But not among them, not so much. I do know a Gambian guy though. He married an Afghan woman just recently. I do know that. The problem is these I'm not saying all of them, but when Black African women take on Keisha, guess what happens? Their men leave too. We leave. Oh yeah, definitely. Desi women, they're marrying non-Muslim men. Sometimes not even marrying them. Sometimes they're having kids with them and they're not even marrying them. That's happening too. A lot of the time.
In all honesty.
But in terms of Ousmane Dembele, the unfortunate thing about him is that they're going to put him under the microscope just for the simple fact that he's black. And the thing is about him is he, like, if you're a black player for the biggest football club, they're going to be like, oh, well, what's up with this guy? Why is he doing such and such? You know, they're gonna like look at him under the microscope. But Ousmane Dembele, his Moroccan wife has probably set the tone for him. But let's continue.
It's nice to see an Ousmane Dembele at this level and without any physical mishap, don't you think? If he keeps it up, he could go very far. But you already know this. Let's be honest. Dembele has incredible skills. In fact, his coach, Xavi, can't stop repeating it every time he speaks to the Frenchman. If Ousmane plays like that, that's why I said that if he works hard, he can be the best player in the world in his position. And today, he showed it. He played for half an hour. He scored a great goal. He made 2 assists. He created a lot of opportunities. He worked very well in defense. That's the Ousmane I think he can be in every game. Incredible praise from the former Barcelona maestro. But what about his future? The Frenchman's contract comes to an end in June and has not yet been extended with the Blaugrana. According to several media sources, the Frenchman already has an oral agreement with a foreign club, more precisely, Paris Saint-Germain. Nevertheless, he's leaving the door open to FC Barcelona, who is still trying to convince him. And it is clear that if he maintains this level, other clubs could also try to enter the picture, especially if he stays in good physical shape. So, will he stay or not? Did his wife play a role in his physical revival? And will she give him good advice for the rest of his career? We'll know.
You damn right she did. And I'm not trying to get into his personal life or anything like that. But she could be just like putting it on him too. And that's giving him extra boost. You know what I mean? So that could be another factor, Hold on. There was another video. Let me see. There was one more video I wanted to see. Let me find it. Because I knew I was going to use it for this live. I knew I was going to use it for this live. Okay, here we go. Let's get it.
I think we're unique because now, as you can see, we are in a studio atmosphere. We're not in a remote atmosphere anymore.
Feet on the field rematches of Dembele's mood. Ousmane Dembele. For several months, Ousmane Dembele has been shining at FC Barcelona. A started ends an essential part of Xavi Hernandez's system, the Barcelona player has changed. His wedding and his union with his wife Rima could be one of the reasons behind this revival.
So again, I say this, and I say it again. When you have a woman that is going to follow your program and is going to help you help you reach accolades that you haven't reached before, bro, you're gonna win. And she's gonna win. She understands that though. Yeah, you're right. You know, the thing is that with Keisha and Keisha, Karen, Americanized Maria, Americanized Ling Ling, Americanized Halima, Americanized Fatu. The thing is that they want to be the center of attention. They want to be like in the spotlight for doing nothing. Because I mean, let's be honest, like if you're gonna be in a position of power, it's gonna take a lot of work in order to do it, at least from a guy's perspective. But that's how it goes, you know. And that's the thing. That's why they're going to be in this situation that they're in right now. And we're going to continue to do what we're going to do. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be honest. I've attracted like many North African women. Like I'm just going to keep it a buck. Like, but I mean, I've never acted upon it because of the simple fact that I had other shit going on. But at the end of the day, they know what time it is, okay? And if they come from a cool, chill family, then their family's gonna know that they're gonna be in a good situation, that they're not gonna be in a like crappy situation. But let's listen.
Oh. Rima is a stunning woman who is equally beautiful and smart. She is very health conscious and takes good care of her body. Being a firm believer in Moroccan ethics and values, she tied the knot with Dembélé in a Moroccan tradition. The duo has been together for a long time, but they kept their relationship out of the public eye. Ousmane Dembélé rose to fame due to his performances for Borussia Dortmund. After moving to Barcelona, he faced some difficulty with his form, but it seems everything is falling into place for him now. Dembélé has been heavily involved in Barca's attacking play in recent weeks, notably breaking up 2 goals and 4 assists in 5 competitive matches. Rima is the biggest supporter of Ousmane Dembélé. She often visits the stadium to cheer for her partner. After a defeat on the field, Rima cheers up Dembélé's mood. Ousmane Dembélé and his wife Rima N'Bouche have been together for a long time, but they managed to keep their love life out of the public eye. We are unsure how the duo met or whether it was love at first.
That's another thing that people need to take heed of. People need to take heed of. People need to take heed of this. If you are married to someone, don't put that person on social media. Because here's what's going to happen if you do put them on social media. American women are going to creep in, and unfortunately, they're going to have their say. And it could, whatchamacallit, exactly. Their parents aren't fools, bro. If they see that you have your stuff together, they're gonna know what time it is. Obviously, with Ousmane Dembélé, he's at the biggest club in the world. Of course, they're gonna be like, oh, well, yeah, duh. Go by all means, marry him. But do you think that, for example, let's say, for example, do you think they're gonna like be like, okay, Pookie comes along, tattoos, teardrops down his cheek, and things like that, without a pot to piss in? Do you think they're gonna want to marry him to their daughter? But this is who Keisha is attracted to. And Keisha, since Keisha is for the most part not fit for marriage, she just decides to have kids from him. But if you're on your purpose and you have your stuff together, then obviously they're going to be like, okay, well, yeah, Bismillah. Well, in the UK, I was talking to my uncle, and I don't really see a lot of I don't really see a lot of Black Indians in the UK like that. You know, I really don't see that. Well, the thing is the thing is, Becky doesn't really fight. Now North Africans, Becky likes North Africans. I'm not going to even cap. I know a lot of North African brothers. I know a lot of North African brothers who are marrying Becky's, actually. But from the subcontinent, no. I don't see that many. I don't really see that many like Indians like marrying Becky's. But I'm not saying that it's not happening. I'm just saying that you know, it's just you know, that's the thing. So let me go ahead and play the rest of this.
But the pair was entirely impressed with each other's personalities after their first meeting. Their conversation became a refreshing session for them. Rima followed her partner to Barcelona. Last year, during the Christmas holiday, the couple tied the knot following the Moroccan traditions. They have remained inseparable since then.
So yeah, I'm not doing that shit. As a matter of fact, you know, I don't know why the oh yeah. There's many Black Moroccans. There's a lot of Black Moroccan women. There's olive skin Moroccans. there's all types of Moroccans, and the black ones are, you know, they're black. You know what I mean? They're hell, there's black Algerians. There's black Algerians, and there's those that are like leaning towards very black. But again, I mean, I hate to show what I'm about to show. This is the complete opposite of this is the complete opposite of basically of what Mr. Dembele has, Sidi Dembele has. Here is the complete opposite of this. Here's the complete opposites. Let me find the video real quick. Okay, here we go.
Have you ever had a man just use you for sex?
I mean, brother, the thing is, and that's another thing that these women, that these women, I hate to say it, but I'll give you a little story about myself. I was trying to marry a chick, Fulani from Mauritania, but since she bought into Keisha culture, I cut her loose, you know, because I knew there was going to be problems in the marriage later on if the marriage were to take place, because she bought into Keisha culture. And so, you know, I hate to say it, but you know, she's she's pushing 30. Like, you know, not in shape and just letting herself go. And she has no prospects when it comes to marriage, you know, but she did that to herself. And I told her, like, listen, like you doing this and you having these kind of like personality and stuff like that, it's not gonna get you far. It's gonna attract a certain type of man, and it's gonna be the man that you walk all over. And I straight out told her, I'm not gonna be that man, you know. And so I just said bye. And now, like, fast forward, good riddance.
For 5 years, and then randomly tell you that he.
Do you think women care more about getting married than they care about being married?
Yeah, 100%.
Why is that?
Because they want the big fancy wedding and the party.
But they don't want to be wives?
Yeah, pretty much.
So what's something you never told your ex?
I cheated on him, yeah.
You cheated on him and you didn't tell him?
No, not yet.
Was it worth it?
Sure.
So you got to keep in mind something. A lot of Western women, they don't necessarily want you as a husband, but they just want to show their friends on social media that they had a big wedding and things like that. But they don't necessarily want to be wives. You know what I mean? That's what you have to keep in mind with these women, is that they don't necessarily want to be wives. They like the idea of being a wife through the wedding and stuff like that, but it doesn't necessarily mean they want to be one.
Oh, yeah, that was worth it.
She belongs to the streets.
And when you get older, make sure when you get married, you treat your wife good, okay?
Married? I ain't getting married. I'm gonna have a girlfriend. And if I don't like that one, I'm gonna get another one. And if I don't like that one, I'm gonna get another one.
He's already hit. That's the good news about this little man. He's already hit. He's so young, and he's not even listening to his mom. That's the good news. He's not even listening to what the misinformation that his mom is giving him. You know, he's already set. He already knows what time it is. He already understands his mission. You know, so shout outs to him for understanding his mission.
Now keep those.
City boy! City boy!
It's not fucking hot girl summer anymore. It's fucking clown girl summer because we out here being fucking clowns dealing with these goddamn men.
And if there was one thing you wish women understood better about men, what would that be?
They don't read minds. Like, men are not really good with visual cues or overall facial expression, so you kind of have to speak up.
We want things and we're not going to tell you what we want.
Why would you do that?
Because for the sake of being complicated.
Women.
Why though?
So I want to tell you guys something too. I want to say something too. I want to say this. Women will send you choosing signals all day long. But if you act on it, you're damned. And if you don't act on it, you're damned. Because, for example, women will send you choosing signals. You mess around and approach them, and then they're gonna give you like the worst attitude ever. Sometimes they'll send you choosing signals just to say, "Oh, okay, I can still get this. I still got it." You know, sometimes they'll do that. They'll play that game where they're like, "Okay, I still got it. I'm gonna." You know what I mean? I'm going to send the choosing signals, but it doesn't mean I'm interested in him. Sometimes they do that. A lot of the times they do that. So you have to keep that in mind. You know, they play this game. So my recommendation, this is my recommendation, and many guys may not follow it, but my recommendation is for you to just practice social distancing from these women completely until you devise a plan to get somewhere where you're going to get cooperation. And I hate to say it, that place doesn't exist in the United States. I'm just going to be honest with you. Yeah, brother. And we're going to get into that video too. We're going to get into that because even on Clubhouse, even on Clubhouse, for example, I don't know where she was from exactly, but she talked about the soft girl era. And for the reason of the soft girl era, as soon as she mentioned patriarchy, I knew she was a feminist. I knew right off the bat that she was a feminist. When she mentioned that word patriarchy, I'm like, oh, we got one. I knew it. So she tried to, this is the thing. She tried to talk all soft. She was like, yeah, the soft girl era, the reason why, it was because of the patriarchy and stuff like that. She tried to mask her feminist ways. And I'm like, oh, we got one. But let's continue.
I mean, why not use your words and just say what you want?
Well, sometimes we do, but then we want you to guess. It's a game. Just why do guys like the chase?
If guys found it frustrating,
women find it frustrating.
Well, I'm just saying, what's the benefit in asking someone? I mean, a lot of women expect guys to kind of be mind readers.
Yes.
The Real Real, authenticated luxury from Gucci, Rolex, Prada, Louis Vuitton, Hermes, Cartier, Tiffany, and more. Find your real. Hundreds of luxury brands, up to 90% off retail, only at The Real Real. Shop now and get 20% off at TheRealReal.com. Terms apply.
Stop paying full price on Best Buy. If you're a PC gamer, here's a way that you can save a ton of money on gaming. So Capital One Shopping is a free online extension.
don't you think it'd make things a lot easier for everybody?
Oh my gosh, yeah, 100%. But I mean, love isn't easy.
Because once you listen, I know we're a lot to handle, but if you listen to us, then everything will be fine.
You know, if women have the capability of just saying what they want, why make it harder than it needs to be?
Because I think in some cases we like the complication, but
For what reason now?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
If there was one thing that you wish that you think women should understand better about,
So these Western women are telling you they like to be complicated in essence. They're telling you that they don't want to be cooperative in essence. That's what they're telling you. So you have to ask yourself this question: do you really want to like entertain that? And your life as a man is already like your life as a man is basically already kind of like you have a lot on your table. Do you really want to do that? You have to really ask yourself that question. And again, it goes back to the original title. By you playing that game, that can affect your mental, your emotional, your spiritual, and your financial health. And those things you have to keep in mind. So please don't do it. Don't do it. Shoot, at this point, they own more than half now, unfortunately.
about men, what would that be?
I'm not sure, actually.
Because they don't want to overpay for something. They don't want to overinvest time, effort, and emotions for something that the next guy didn't have to put all of that into in order to get the same thing. And I'm not saying it's right, but fundamentally, that's what it comes down to. I don't know if you've ever seen a situation where a guy is pursuing a girl and then he finds out that she has a reputation and then he changes up. That's the cause behind it, because he does not want to invest there. Another thing is he tends to think that if you've done it with him or you've done it with someone he knows, then you do that with everybody. Men tend to underestimate how special they are. Women tend to overestimate how special they are when dating.
Women are taught not to respect or appreciate men. What happens is then they're unhappy later on. If you want a guy to fall in love with you, the secret is to appreciate him.
Yeah.
Because if you make a guy feel like he's a man by telling him how amazing he is, by complimenting him, the complete opposite of what women are taught. I have women clients that come to me and they're like, I don't know why he doesn't like me. It's like, well, how many times have you complimented him? None. How many times have you flaked on him?
To be honest, I don't give a shit about no compliments. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like I really don't give a rat's ass about no compliments. What I care about is you being cooperative. And what I care about is you actually showing me something that shows me that you're going to be cooperative. But if you're going to be combative, if you're going to be like having bad attitude, if you're going to talk to me any old kind of way, and then it's going to make me in return talk to you in any old kind of way and maybe hurt your feelings and violate you, like I had to do to this Casper Karen the other day with her deep ass voice, then that's just going to be what it is. Okay, I'm not going to think anything of it, but I don't give a care about getting no damn compliments. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, for me, it really does not matter. Now, on to what that woman was saying about how basically how, you know, how a guy may change up after they know that you've been on the carousel, and all of a sudden she's making the guy pay for, you know, and didn't make the other guys on the carousel pay, then yeah, you damn right he's going to change up. I mean, and it's right that he does change up. What are you talking about? That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't give a shit about no compliments. I don't give a shit about none of that. Okay. be loyal, do what you have to do, and then that's it. And the thing is, and then the one thing too is like, you know, as much as these women like the carousel, like, why in a marriage do you like all of a sudden want to ration it out? But before the marriage, you weren't rationing it out. You were giving it to everybody who came along. Like all of a sudden now you want to like make it being stingy with the person you married. Like, come on, be real. Give me a break. I don't pedestalize any women, and I don't think any guy should.
5. And what do you expect is going to happen?
Let's talk about the fact that some of you guys ruin it for the rest of us. And when I say you guys, I mean women in general, generally speaking. You have got men asking us to go on walks, dates, walks in the park, bitch. Couldn't even spend money on Starbucks, bitch. Couldn't make a reservation to save his life, bitch.
There are crappy men in the world, right? But men are crappy because we've created a system where manhood has become obsolete. Mm-hmm. You keep increasingly telling men more and more they can't matter. When I say, who are they being told that by? You know, like I said, there's more sinister implications here of why we're making.
And you're damn right that you not only did you ruin it, but you just made it that much easier for us to vet. And for us to just know that you guys aren't worth shit. You're not worth a damn dime, you know? And so, yeah, like going on the walk first before spending money, you damn right. That many people are going to want to take that route because they know that a $300 or $400 dinner may result in you getting ghosted. So no, they're not going to spend $300 and $400. That $300 and $400 can go towards a new digital camera. That $300, $400 can go towards an investment. That $300, $400 can go towards blockchain. That $300, $400 can go towards a stock or a bond. Something that's going to return on investment. So of course we're going to do what we're doing right now. Or at least I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing right now, which is not dating and not spending money on these, which we'll call it, these fem cells.
Manhood obsolete. When we're saying masculinity is wrong, this is backwards. You don't need a man. You can just have a baby without a man. You're starting to see that sort of programming happening with young women. When you're telling women to act like men, you should aspire to the things that men naturally might aspire to. When you remove the more natural feeling of men being providers and women being nurturers, which is a beautiful yin and yang that just works, right? So you're creating men to feel obsolete, and then women are complaining because men aren't being men. You know, it doesn't work that way, right? And not only that, then increasingly you're telling women to be the opposite of what I think men want. You complain about men, but are you being the type of a woman that a man would want, right? It's a self-perpetuating problem. And then you say that and they, oh my God, Candace is a horrible human being. And I'm looking at you going, I'm not a dude. I wouldn't date you.
So a couple weeks ago, I was taking a walk in Florida. It's like, it's been in the 90s. It's pretty hot. A guy pulled over, asked if I had a boyfriend. I said no. He asked if I wanted one. I said no. But let me just tell you, I have changed my mind because on grocery day, I have to walk clean back in the corner where you can't even see. Way back here, it's too fucking hot. I changed.
So just understand that, like, when a woman tells you no or something like that, and then like maybe later she'll say, hey, you know, on second thought, like, why, I do need you. I do need you and stuff like that, right? Just understand that she's looking for help. She's not looking for, she's not looking for, you know, she's not looking for anything other than that. You know, she's looking for a helpmate. She's not looking for you to be, you know what I mean, you to be more than that. Okay? The simple fact of the matter is a lot of these Western women now who are crying for help are looking for help only. They're not looking for relationships. Or let's just say traditional relationships. They're not looking for that. So just keep that in mind when you're dealing with them. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you have to understand. So that's why, I encourage other men to check out. And I encourage other men to just take little steps. Like, sometimes those little steps are going to add up to bigger steps. The first step, getting your passport. Second step, researching on flights. Third step, maybe making some contacts with people in those places that you want to go to. Fourth step, asking questions about those places. Fifth step, booking the flight. Sixth step, just, those little steps. And you just keep your head down and stay quiet because you deserve better. That's the thing. Your life as a man is hard enough. You deserve better than what they're offering you here. Okay? I know the world, especially the Western world, will make it look like you don't deserve better, but you do. Okay? Especially if you're doing the right thing. Just keep that in mind.
Change my mind. I'd like a boyfriend now.
I always say, guys, you cannot. They want to say, I don't need a man. I got my house to give me leadership. What? As a woman, that's not.
I did the 50 guy gangbang. That was.
Excuse me.
I did the 50 guy gangbang. That was like my story.
So I want you guys to also keep something in mind too with these women. They may look like, they may look like they haven't been through the ringer. A lot of times, sometimes these women look like they haven't been through the ringer. But believe me, they have, for the most part, okay? You can kind of just sense that, okay, yeah, this woman has been through the ringer a lot, okay? I want you to keep that in mind when you're, dealing with these women, if you decide to deal with them, okay? If they tell you, no, I haven't done anything, or, I don't really do anything, just understand that is usually quite the opposite. You have to keep that in mind. This woman said she just got ran through by 50 guys. Sorry, I'm just kind of preparing something real quick. But yeah, she said she got ran through by 50 guys.
What happened?
I went to a party and I think it was Super Bowl Sunday, and yeah, it was 50 dudes I got ran through.
So 50 guys, all at once? I don't understand.
Yeah, kind of like a party of it. I'll do 5 guys at a time, and then I'll do another 5.
Damn! Oh yeah, just get through them all,
Yeah, I get spiced up.
That's what's up. Oh my God.
That you see.
The woman that you do. He want us to react in a certain way.
The women, and that's why I'm paying them no attention. The women that I see, they're not afraid of submission. I don't mind.
I don't mind being submissive to my guy. Now, is it hard? Yeah.
Why is it hard? Because you. Masculine as fuck.
I'm a very dominant my guy. Now, is it hard? Like, I don't mind being submissive to my guy. Now, is it hard? Yeah.
So she just contradicted herself. She just contradicted herself. She said, I don't mind being masculine, or I don't mind being submissive to my man. Is it hard? Yes. Okay, so which one is it? Which one is it then? Please, the crowd would like to know. But this guy kind of like shuts her down. Like this, I like how this guy did it. I like how this dude did it.
Why is it hard? Because you're masculine as fuck.
And a lot of I'm gonna be honest, a lot of Karens and a lot of Keishas are masculine as hell. And again, if I go on Clubhouse right now, I can pull up a Karen and a Keisha with a deep ass voice. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, it's been a very long time since I've heard a woman who has had like a whatchamacallit voice, like a feminine voice. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. You don't come by it that often when you're dealing with Western women. Like they have masculine ass voices. It's like, damn, like why is your voice so deep? You know what I mean? Like you have to ask that question. Like why are their voices so deep? You know? But yeah, he's right. Masculine as hell.
I'm a very dominant female, and
okay, and you know you can be a very dominant female if you want. We'll just see how we'll just see how it works out for you, and chances are it's going to work out for you with box wine, a kitty cat, or a dog, and no husband.
And I can live in my truth.
Yeah, that's why you're single.
Gotcha, bitch. in all honesty, yeah, my attitude in my mouth.
Yeah, that's gonna keep you single. And
He's the guy. The guy is just like really. The guy's really laying it on her, like Dave Chappelle said, "Gotcha, bitch." Like he's really laying it on her, and let this be a reminder to us guys that you have to keep this kind of frame. You know, when a woman like gets all emotional and shit like that, you have to keep that kind of frame just to not let her get to you. You know what I mean? Just to not let her get to you. That's what kind of frame you have to keep. That frame it works. Trust me, it works very well. You have to keep that frame. Ooh, that's funny.
So you're gonna have to resort to dogs and roses when you get
the
older.
thing is,
At least you're being real.
The thing is, though, it doesn't. It might keep me single, but every nigga will still always fuck with me because how real I am.
No, not really. They're gonna smash you, but they'll smash you because you'll be desperate for companionship, and the only companionship you'll probably get is like a guy's smashing and dashing. Smashing and dashing, but at the end of the day, that's where it's gonna stop, basically.
They will fuck you, not fuck with you. It's a difference.
They fuck with me.
Yeah.
Have you ever had
So that guy just laid the smack down. Shout outs to him for laying down the smack. Now here's another basically another here's something else that actually was brought to my attention. So this is, people have talked about this soft girl era shit, but I want you to show, shout outs to Please Act Right. I want to show how much of the BS this soft girl era is, and how some are just telling you right off the bat that I can't do it. I can't be, in essence, I can't be a woman. Let me go to it real quick.
Home studio, pro studio, no problem.
Hey girls, I want to give you girls a little bit more.
Special thanks to Wesley Hill. I put the links in the.
I'm so like soft girl era.
If you'd like to support too, I put the.
I've been enjoying this soft girl era.
I mean, I hate to say it, but this bitch still sounds like a man. I don't give a shit. And forgive my language. But if I was on the phone, if I was on the phone and I heard her talk, I would think I was talking to a little boy. And she's talking about soft girl era, and she got all these tattoos, and she got her damn she got, in essence, she has her chest hanging out. Let's just be honest. She has her chest hanging out, and she's talking about soft girl era.
That I'm going through. I've never been able to be a soft girl. I'm so like,
And you still are. You still are.
And now I'm just like, and then when I lower my voice and I need to be taken seriously and handled delicately, and I just look, and I'm like, baby, look, I'm not okay.
Manipulation 101. Here's how this works. Here's how this works. Okay, I'm gonna give you a scenario. And I'm not gonna be in this scenario, but let's just say, for example, I come home from doing what I do. Let's just say her name is Kadiatu. Yeah, let's just say Kadiatu. Let's say her name is Kadiatu. So Kadiatu says, hey, I need this, I need that. And I said, okay, bet, no problem, I got you. I give it to her, and I say, well, it was kind of a long day today. What's up? You want to give me some feel good? Her response is, That's soft girl era in a nutshell. It's basically a chameleon trap. That's all it is. Talk nice to get something. Once you get it, back to being showing your true colors.
I need this. I need you. I get whatever the fuck I want.
Key words. I get whatever the hell I want.
Who told me to be aggressive?
The Western world did, and you listened.
This is crazy.
Did you see that ending right there?
Who told me to be aggressive?
She still is aggressive. That's the whole thing.
That's exactly who she is. And you're going to see it the minute she doesn't get her way. She's going to turn right back into a masculine female. Have you ever heard the expression, you don't know who you have until adversity comes? When dealing with today's woman, Wait till you see what she's like when things go wrong or when she gets mad. If she acts like this at the end of the video,
Who told me to be aggressive?
that's who she really is.
So many women say that they are in their soft era and they're living these soft lifestyles. And it's become this aesthetic that I just cannot relate to, and I wish that I could and I want to, but I literally can't. I feel like life has always been hard, and as a result, I built a hard exterior. So now thinking about finding an environment where I can be vulnerable and be softer, it just seems unattainable. Because I ain't never been no soft ass bitch, and no shade, because where do I sign up? It just feels like it's never been an option. This is just how I've come to be.
It's a crying shame. These women nowadays can't even be regular feminine women. She said she can't even function like a regular female, even if she's put in a good environment. You see why I keep...
So keep in mind that keep in mind that she even refers herself to a B word. We didn't have to refer herself to. We didn't have to refer to her as a B word. But I'm just letting you know that by default, a lot of Western women look at themselves as that. You know, you don't even have to be honest, you don't even have to like say it about them. They'll usually say it about themselves. You know, and she says, I've never been a soft woman. So, you know, in essence, she pretty much was always masculine, you know, and we see how that's working out for her. We see how that masculinity is working out for her. It's not working really well, I don't think.
Keep telling you guys to check these women's social media pages before you get too involved with them. You see, they're telling on themselves. So my question is to the fellas out there. Even if a woman is drop dead gorgeous, do you want a woman who can never be soft and feminine? The type of man that they would really want wouldn't even want to waste their time with them. And now if you think those two were something, this last one takes the cake.
Chick explains how to manipulate
Hey girls, I
men.
want to give you girls a little.
Yeah, we don't need to look at her demonic ass. But there's something else. There's something else I want to look at.
Verse has a wide range of gear to fit any lifestyle. There's way more to Verse than just workout clothes that you would wear.
Yo, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Let's
see. Shout outs to True Suzette. But don't True Suzette, shout outs to you. But don't even like bother being a dating coach. It's not worth it. Definitely it's not worth it. But let's go ahead and look at this. Another soft girl video.
Drink the coffee.
Another soft girl era video. Because she knows her time was up. And so now she's like, okay, well, shit. Any attention I get is good attention. And also any free meal I get is good. So let's look at another soft girl chameleon.
Make you feel better. TikToker shares her experience dealing with a mature man with clear intentions. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
So I met this guy, right? And we're talking over the phone constantly. Like, this guy is calling. You could tell he is definitely vetting me to figure out if I'm even worth his time. And I have no problem with it, sir. You do what you got to do to make yourself comfortable. We've had several conversations, and the conversations are good. He's not just like, hey, how are you to death, and just sitting on the phone. Like, we're talking. Anyways, by the end of the conversation last week, he says, you know, I'm a traveling nurse. I just start my assignment. I don't know what my hours are yet, but when I get my schedule, I want to see you on my day off next week.
Definitely is sent. Traveling nurse, get the hell out of here. And look at her masculine ass.
Notice his word choice. I want to see you next week. He made it very clear what his intentions are, and he gave me a time frame. That alone put the man 5 steps ahead of everybody else.
So keep in mind that there were other guys before him that made their intention clear. They made their intentions clear as well. It's just the fact of the matter is she was still on the rooster carousel. And so those guys who made their intentions clear didn't get a look in because of the simple fact that she, she had more dinglings to bench press. That's why.
Already. Huh. So we talked a little bit over the weekend, and he calls me yesterday. A little bit into the conversation, he says, do you have any food allergies? I said, no, but I don't like avocados. I got a thing about eggs. I'm not a big fan on Italian food. He starts to laugh. Oh, I just made reservations for tomorrow at an Italian restaurant. I can change them if you want me to. You don't change a thing, sir. You don't. I will find something to eat on that menu. I will find, even if it's just a salad with a baked potato, do not change a single thing. The fact that he made reservations, not even the reservations, let me take that back. The fact that he made the plans. He said he was going to see me this week. He gave me a day this week, and he made the plans. It is 9 a.m, and I'm thinking to myself, where?
So this is what post-wall looks like. All right, definitely, bro, definitely. Have a good sleep. Thanks for tapping in and giving your insight, which is which your insight is very, very much valued here at this place, at the which one call it? I call it the Fuller Spear. Perhaps I should maybe share, how the Fuller Spear looks. Maybe I will. Hold on, just give me a second. Just give me 1 second. I'll turn my camera on briefly, and maybe y'all can see what the Fuller Spear looks like. Turn on the camera. Yeah, see the Fuller Spear. We have an ambience going on, and we're gonna keep this ambience. We're gonna add to this ambience as well. But I call it the Fuller Spear because of the simple fact that this is for traditional niggas only, and so this is why it's called the Fuller Spear. You know what I mean? So we're gonna add to it. We're gonna add even more ambience, and we're just gonna do our thing, basically. But let's get back to Aunt Jemima.
Is my eyelash glue? Do you know when was the last time I put on eyelashes for a guy? I'm sitting here. I've been thinking since last night. Do I need to go buy an outfit? Because I don't think I have anything to wear. What's the last time I haven't done that in a minute? Normally, I get ready 30 minutes before I'm supposed to leave the house. He laid it out in a way where literally my job in this situation is just to arrive beautiful. That's all I got to do. I hate this term, but the way he laid it out, feminine energy all day. That's it, y'all. I'm about to go buy a new dress at lunchtime for this man. I couldn't even tell you when was the last time I did that.
All right, guys, you heard it for yourself. This man and the way he approached this situation, set the date, and everything.
So this lets you know that when it's post-wall, yeah? When it's post-wall, just keep this in mind. When it becomes post-wall for these women, anything that they get, they're happy. Okay? Don't be under the misconception that, oh, you know, like their demands go up and that they should demand more. You know what I mean? Because of some stupid ass dating coaches that tell them that they should demand more. Actually, they're happy with getting anything that they can get. You know, so just keep that in mind. It's like easy pickings, but I mean, if you have any self-respect, you'll stay away from those pickings. Again, another I want to say another soft girl chameleon.
Joseph YouTube, welcome to the Coffee Pot. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Why I don't date ugly men. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
Story time about why I do not date ugly men, even if they have money, especially if they have money. Now, stay with me. This one's going to be good, very valid. About 6 years ago, I used to work at this club called Crazy Horse in Vegas. Now, I met this man there. He was so generous, so nice, intellectual. That's what like really connected us. Like, bro, we talking. So we exchanged numbers and he's like, you know, when I come to LA, I really want to see you. And I'm like, all right, bet. So we started going on dates in LA. Now, just to give you a little bit of rundown, even though this man was so sweet, intellectual, you know, generous with his money, I would give him about a 4 on a scale of 1 to 10 because he was not attractive at all, like not attractive. And it was a black man. Let me tell you, they not all attractive. Let me tell you, they not.
So just keep in mind that read between the lines when she says this. She's looking for Brad. When she says, oh, you know, black men aren't attractive and stuff like that, what she's telling you in reality is that she doesn't really want a black man. She wants, whatchamacallit? She wants Brad. I mean, and that's okay, you know, that there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with, you know, there's nothing wrong with having a preference, right? We all have our preferences, right? And so now that I see her TikTok page, I think I'm gonna write something. I think I'm gonna write something on it, and it may get me banned, but I think I am gonna write it though. Yeah, I think I am. But anyhow, let's continue on to what she says. And there's going to be, of course, women who are going to agree with her. We know that's usually normal with this.
So, and he was short, but you know, I got black love. So here I am trying to just, you know, get around the image. And so he comes to LA. He stays in a hotel. I meet him at the hotel and, you know, he comes down to the lobby and is ready to go out. So let me tell y'all something. I had on my Sunday best. I still remember this like it was yesterday. I had on a nice ass dress with a Gucci mink coat. Like, I pulled it out because I was trying to look like $1 million for him. You know what I mean? Like, you got money, so I don't want to look like a little fashion. So he comes down the stairs with some Robin's Egg Blue cargo pants. Like, swear, they was like sky blue, Robin's Egg Blue. And then the shoes was like a highlighter yellow sneaker. And then the top was like a black shirt, short sleeve with a bunch of rhinestones. So I'm not understanding what the black rhinestones with the Robin's Egg Blue and a highlighter have anything to do with each other. So I just politely asked him, like, is this your going out outfit tonight? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh. And he was like, what's wrong? I said, it's just that everything doesn't really go together. Like, maybe you could swap out one of the pieces so it's more cohesive. And he was like, oh no, I don't like women who try to change me. I like what I like. And I was like, see, you're not even open to coaching. Because that's the thing, is like, you got potential, you know, intellectual, money. But like, bro, you don't want nobody to let you know, like, you fumbling right here. Like, bro, you don't want no real friends. So anyway, we go out to the Doheny room and we keep getting the comment over and over again. Oh, you must have a lot of money. Oh, you're so lucky. How the heck did you get her? They said that so many times. How the heck did you get her? You must have a lot of money. And that makes me feel like, what do I look like? A little bonehead from off the blade? Like, you think I'm gonna just go out with anybody as long as I got money? I'm not a paid escort. I'm not paid help. And that's why it's like, nah, you can't just make exceptions if y'all don't look like you go together, because people gonna judge you for that.
All right, guys, you heard it for yourself. She said you can't just make exceptions when you don't go together because people are going to judge you for that. This woman was dealing with a man, but she decided to entertain a man who, in her words, she said she did not find attractive. Now, I don't know why anybody would deal with somebody who they didn't think was attractive. That's a mistake in itself, unless that woman was only thinking about the money, right? And that's what attracted her to that man. Listen, man, I've got my own take on this situation, but as always, let's see what the internet had to say about this. Our first comment here comes from a woman who says, not being open to coaching is such a red flag. Laughing emoji. And the creator responded, this is a woman who went out with a quote-unquote ugly dude. She says, this was the real red flag, right? The real red flag is when she asked him to change because she wasn't feeling his outfit. He didn't want to change. He says, I don't allow a woman to basically tell me how to dress. He says, I don't like dealing with women who want to change me, who want to tell me how to dress. And I respect that about a man who doesn't allow a woman to tell him how to dress, what to wear. Because listen, man, when a woman looks at you and she thinks she can do better than you, she will do this. She will do exactly this. And it will start with little things like, hey, I don't think you should wear that shirt. Once you realize you can control your shirt and your outfit, now it's the shoes. Now it's your body. Now it's what time you show up at home. Now it's the way you talk to her. Now she's run.
That's true. I would have said the same thing. I would have said the same thing to her as well. You know, I would have said, like, yeah, you're not going to change anything that's going on here. You know, but yeah. But let's continue.
Shit. Now,
I think we're unique because now, as you can see, we are in a studio atmosphere. We're not in a remote atmosphere anymore. But then how do we kind of continue to use StreamYard is pretty much every show we have has a remote guest in. So we bring our remote guests through StreamYard. We have virtual events still with all of our season ticket holders and our VIP clients. All that is going to be produced through StreamYard. And we have podcasts, which have guests from any location will come through via StreamYard. So for us, I mean, I have a feeling this is why we're on a stream like this with you guys for StreamYard Business, but we are extremely happy with everything we've been able to do with StreamYard.
You're drinking tea.
I don't drink coffee.
Next comment here from another woman says, so true, laugh out loud. I used to date a Korean man. He was attractive, but he was short. People would always make those comments. It hurt my feelings. She goes on to say, the TikToker responded and said, girl, yes, my feelings were hurt. And I was so offended at the constant comments and looks. Now, the constant comments and looks. So the comments this chick was basically saying when she was dating the Korean man is people would say, oh, he's pretty short. He's a short guy. And the comments the TikToker said she was getting walking around with the guy who she didn't think knew how to dress was, wow, how did he get you? But here's the truth, guys. This is the problem with the woman not being genuinely attracted to who you are. This is the problem with leading with your wallet, right? These are the problems a lot of men run into when they lead with their wallet. You should be able to tell, and it's pretty easy to tell whether a woman finds you genuinely attractive or she's just with you strictly for your resources, right? That's what we call a beta male provider. Now, if you're not taking the relationship seriously, you know, can you date women who view that way and, you know, you just are there to have fun, you smash, whatever. It's whatever. But if you're trying to avoid this, you can't be with the woman who's there because she wants your money. You know, most of these women who in these type of situations think is going to get them to overlook their lack of attraction, right? Here's the truth. The reason why people make these comments when they see a really attractive girl with a guy who's not that good looking or they perceive is not on her level, it is nothing to do with just the way that the guy looks or him being unattractive. It's got nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the way the woman carries herself when she's with that man. You guys have seen it. I know you guys have seen couples walk around and you've seen an attractive woman, right? And then you've seen a woman who you're like, how did he get her? You've asked yourself that question. But the reason you ask yourself that question most times is because there's usually space between them when they walk. Women can't hide these things. She can't hide when she's genuinely not attracted to you, right? There's definitely some type of lack of connection usually between those two types of people. When you see a guy and he's got a hot chick.
Now I met this man there. He was story time about why I do not date ugly men, even if they have money. It's
about to be savage. I'm about to be cold-blooded. All right, guys. Walaikum salam, rahmatullah. Yeah, the Western women, of course, are the worst types, you know. But you know what, brother? Unfortunately, it's an unfortunate thing that Western Muslim women have now taken sway to them too. That's the problem. You know, Western Muslim women have taken on the same characteristics. That's the issue, you know. Just give me a minute. I'm actually firing back at that woman who just made the TikTok.
story time about why I do not date ugly men, even if they have money. It's special.
All right. Yeah, brother, Western society in you know, I've said this over and over again. Western Muslim women have bought into the trap, and so they're now the same. They're really no different from, you know what I mean, no different from I guess you can say non-Muslim Western women. I'll give you an example. You know, I'll give you an example right now. Hold on, let me try to find it. Hold on. Even this guy, right? Even this guy right here, right? Even him he knows how the Western feminism is harming Muslim women. Even he knows this.
For a kid like me, who's had 13 operations and can now walk, you might think.
Hello everyone, I'm CJ Weldon. Don't forget the subscribe button below.
Wa alaikum salam rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah, I'm doing pretty well. Alhamdulillah. But even non-Muslims see the harms of feminism with these Muslim women. Let's hear what he has to say.
Now let's get into it. France has become the Muslim world's most hated country in the West. It has turned white Western feminist tropes about Islam into laws that discriminate against Muslim women, which has made France the envy of secular extremists around the world, who now wish to pass similar laws banning Muslim women from wearing a hijab in public spaces. In reality, these laws are designed to make Muslim women invisible in the West, because somehow white Western feminists have fooled themselves into believing they're saving Muslim women from an oppressive and misogynistic religious belief.
And I hate to say it, but you hear some of these female, you hear some of these, these Western Muslim women here talking about that, oh, I can dress in a certain way because it's my body, it's my choice, and Allah knows my heart. You hear them say that all the time, and it's like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like I'm just like, oh God, like that rhetoric again. Like it's just really stupid. But this guy is spot on.
Muslim women, especially in today's society, are so often told our own narrative. A lot of non-Muslims have like this image on us Muslim women that we are oppressed, uneducated, fragile women, when in reality we're not. I think we just want to be able to tell our stories and to be normal people in society.
What these white Western feminists are really doing is perpetuating the same racist lies European colonial powers told about populations they wish to control.
The thing is, here's the thing. Here's what it boils down to with these feminists. The feminists have destroyed their society already. Like their society is destroyed. Their society is done. Right? The problem is, however, is that they want to bring everybody down with them, and Muslim women have decided that okay, we'll go ahead and follow. You know what I mean? We'll go ahead and follow behind, like we'll go ahead and follow behind this basically this system. You know what I mean? So they know that, like, for example, a Muslim woman covers, if she's like a real Muslim woman, she has respect for herself. If she understands her mission and things like that, she understands that her mission is to serve Allah and not give a crap about what these women say. That is if she understands the mission, But this is how it works most of the time.
In Africa and the Middle East during the previous century.
To colonizers, the veil was backward and signified the oppression of women and the primitiveness of Islam. Egyptian and Algerians who veiled were the least civilized. Indians who partially veiled were more civilized. Europeans who didn't veil at all were civilization. And by colonizing countries, they were bringing civilization to inferior people. So Europe's project to unveil women symbolically and literally was about civilizing Muslim societies and served as a political justification for colonization.
In other words, these anti-hijab laws are not about liberating Muslim women from religious oppression, but instead are motivated by a desire to control and subjugate their bodies, which is, ironically, the exact opposite of feminism.
Not Western feminism. The thing is about Western feminism is Western feminism, in essence, is pretty like erotic and like into these kind of like things like being like topless and letting it all hang out. Like that's kind of what Western feminism like delivers. So, you know, I understand where he's coming from, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't think it's against feminism in the Western sense, because that's what they were pushing at the beginning of it all. You know, sexual liberation.
I mean, how else do you explain this? The double standards Western feminists apply to Muslim women could hardly be more obvious.
People wouldn't ask a woman, you know, in a bikini on a beach, do you think that the way that you dress like makes you unequal?
Like nuns cover up, and I don't feel like anybody questions their motives behind it. It's to get close to God, and that's what they wear. That's sort of like the habit is like their uniform and their sign of their devotion to God. But if a Muslim woman's wearing it, it's because you're oppressed. You obviously, you know, you're being forced to wear it.
It's always how we look. It's always the veil when it's like there's so much more going on. There's so much more to Muslim women.
Out of Muslim women comes from only one place: total and complete ignorance about Islam. In fact, the Prophet Muhammad was the first man in human history to legislate laws granting equal rights to women.
Well, you know, the Prophet Muhammad, alayhi salatu salam, he did that to give women equal rights, but he didn't do it to make women into feminists. That's the thing. Like the Prophet Muhammad, alayhi salatu salam, I'm pretty sure, you know, and I can't speak for the Prophet, alayhi salatu salam, but I'm pretty sure, like, if it was like, I don't know if he would look at women favorably if he was still like on this physical plane today. I don't think he would look at like women favorably because of like the you know what I mean, like the things that they're doing, the things that they're perpetuating, like Muslim women especially.
My frustration is that people talk about Islam without knowing anything about it, and they're willing to completely negate any of my rights as a human being, as a woman, as a person with agency, simply because they have an idea about what my faith is about. Excuse me, Islam to me is the most feminist religion, right? We got equal rights well before the Europeans. We don't take our husbands' last names because we ain't their property.
But here's what too many Western feminists get wrong about Islam. They conflate Saudi Arabia, Iran, and the Taliban with Islam, when in reality...
Well, let's not jump the gun too much. I mean, the Taliban, you know, for all purpose right now, it seems like they're kind of reforming things and getting things in order. And it's also getting things in order for the women as well. It's not just like they're not like just thinking about it in a patriarchy way. They're thinking about it in a like egalitarian way, where like the women have their rights according to Islam, and then, you know, the men have their rights according to Islam. And yeah.
These governments are illustrative only of repressive authoritarian regimes that use religion as a tool to subjugate their respective populations.
A closer look at the inequality women face in certain countries shows that it is not Islam or Islamic teaching which promote oppression, but oppressive governments using religion to maintain control over the people. One frequent example is Saudi Arabia, where women suffer some of the worst inequality in the world. The prohibition from driving or leaving the home without a chaperone comes up again and again in the media. But Saudi Arabian oppression extends to many other groups, including minorities and even other sects of Islam. And those rules against women driving aren't found in any other country. In other words, oppression in Saudi Arabia is largely a problem with Saudi Arabia, not with Islam.
But when Western feminists base their criticisms of Islam on Saudi Arabia or Iran, they ignore how Muslim women have flourished in many other Muslim countries, such as Indonesia, Turkey, Malaysia, Bangladesh, and Pakistan, which have each elected women as presidents and prime ministers. Meanwhile, the United States has elected exactly 0 women to the country.
But the thing is, the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu salam said, oh, believe it or not, there was actually an Iranian woman, you know, and I'm not saying that I'm not saying that, you know, this was the way to go, but there was actually an Iranian woman who actually, you know, she was pushing the alphabet soup, and you know, they were pushing the alphabet soup, and they are like scheduled to execute her. That's the thing. They're actually scheduled to execute her, you know, because she was pushing the alphabet soup. You know what I mean? So it didn't go well with her. It didn't go well at all.
Country's highest political office. But somehow it's Muslim women who need saving from white Western feminists who are now pushing for even tougher laws against them. In France, they now even want to ban Muslim women from wearing a hijab while playing sport.
En tout cas, en tant que femme musulmane, on a beaucoup de barrières qu'on rencontre, que ce soit à l'école, que ce soit dans le milieu du sport.
Now I'm not suggesting this. You know, I'm not suggesting this. I'm not suggesting this, but there are different religious texts that's within Islam that say, well, you know, if you're doing a job, or if you're doing something that like a sport, like if a woman is doing a sport, then the appropriate clothes can be wear for the sport. But if she's just like openly just saying, oh, okay, I just don't want to wear one, no hijab, I don't feel like doing it, then that's a different story. But if she's like, if it's just for sport, then it works differently. You know, it's different. So yeah.
Que ce soit pour trouver un travail. C'est le talent qui devrait être reconnu et pas ce qu'on porte sur la tête, ni notre couleur de peau, notre religion ou quoi. On est sur le terrain pour jouer au foot. Donc voilà, c'est le talent qui doit être reconnu et rien d'autre.
Ultimately, Western feminists are hiding behind feminism and secularism to deny equal rights to Muslim women. Forcing Muslim women to remove clothing from their bodies is the secular version of religious extremism, and no less oppressive than the Taliban forcing Muslim women to wear the niqab. We must not forget that secular extremism and the singling out of religious minorities is what led to the Holocaust and the Soviet gulags in the previous century. And we must also remember that concentration camps and genocide never start with mass murder, they start with words, and then laws that gradually chip away at the rights of a targeted group. But more to the point, white Western feminists need to check their Islamophobia at the door, because not one of them made a fuss when white women were wearing the hijab as a popular fashion accessory in the 1970s, which clearly demonstrates their concern is not with liberating Muslim women, but about controlling their bodies. Instead, they should look to countries like India, where Muslim women are being forced against their will to remove their hijab by oppressive Hindu nationalist forces. Feminism must concern itself with defending human rights.
It'll never concern itself with defending human rights. It was always designed to like take away human rights, basically, and especially men. You know, like let's be honest, like with all due respect, we got the short end of the stick when it came to this super soldier feminism. You know, I mean, I expected it, but at the same time, you know, it had nothing to do with human rights. Feminism had nothing to do with human rights at all.
Not taking them away from those who don't need saving from white Western feminist saviors. Anyway, that's my time for today. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and we kindly ask you.
Okay, let's see what else. Let's see. See.
Inclusion is not enough. Diversity is not enough. And as a matter of fact, we do.
Yeah, exactly. The bloke on the video, he's a little bit smart, but let's see how these Western liberals, which we'll call it, decided to take. Unfortunately, they took the women from right up under us. And I'm gonna be honest. A lot of Muslim women are getting divorced from their husbands in the West. It's like commonplace now. But let's look.
Not wish to be included in a racist society.
Assalamu alaikum and hello. I hope you guys are all well and welcome back to my second video essay.
Unlike my last video on the intersectionality of Black Muslim women, I thought I'd make this video a bit more engaging and conversational because I don't want to sound like I'm reading off a PowerPoint. I want this to feel like a FaceTime call. But in today's video essay, we're going to be unpacking quite a lot of things, specifically got to do with the hijab and its relationship with capitalism, and also the implications of being included in a part of a system that has always valued profits over everything else. It makes me sort of question whether we as Muslim women sometimes compromise our Islamic ethics in the name of diversity and inclusion.
Man, you compromise your Islamic ethics in the name of everything. You guys compromise your Islamic ethics in the name of the bag, compromise your Islamic ethics in the name of body positivity, compromise your Islamic ethics in the name of diversity, compromise your body ethics, your Islamic ethics in the name of a lot of things, man. So let's not even go there. Let's not go there.
And whether we can even exist and be represented consciously under a hyper-commercialized world.
It's probably not what I wanted. Talking about let's see. This is happening more often, believe it or not. More Muslim men are marrying non-Muslim women, but I wouldn't recommend it here. Let me see. Let me see. I'm looking for a video. Man, I wish I could find this video because this woman, like, she broke it down. She like crushed feminism, but I don't see it. But that video, boy, she crushed that thing down. They probably got rid of the video because it was so hard. Well, I mean, I don't want to use them because they're, for every, I'm gonna be honest, the Nation of Islam, we know about their kufr. The sad thing is, brother, is that they don't even realize that that they're they're controlled by shaitan. Brother, if you go on TikTok and listen to how these Muslim women talk, you kind of like have to like look at it like, okay, like, are they really going to be a wife? Like, are they really suited to be a wife or something like that? If you listen to them talk, basically. I'm trying to find a video with this Muslim sister. She actually shut down feminism. Like, she actually basically shut that thing down. I can't find the video though, but that video, because it was an older one. But when I say she shut that shit down, she shut that shit down. Maybe I can find it. Hold on. If I can find it. I don't know if I can find it though. I can't find the video, man. There was a video of the sister, like, she shut that shit down. Maybe I have to look through my things. I don't know if I did it on this channel, though. That's the thing. Hold on. Let me try to find it. Now, I can't find this video. There's a video on this thing that I want to look up, but it seems like I can't find it. Okay, let me see her. Millihan philosopher. Okay, let me see. Let me see if she's. Let me look at it, because there was this one video where this sister shut down freaking feminism. She shut that shit down. Okay. Let's see. Man, they won't even show me her video. Man, I cannot find that shit. And it all comes from whatchamacallit, damn liberals. That's the problem. It comes from liberals. Well, let's look at this. Let's see what he has to say real quick.
When I studied antisocial behavior, and particularly at McGill, I studied female and male antisocial behavior. Male antisocial behavior tends to be much more physically violent. And so most of the people who are imprisoned are male, mostly because we imprison violent offenders, which is kind of interesting. We don't necessarily imprison white-collar criminals, even if they defraud like 60,000 people. But, you know, a mugger, well, we're going to lock him up. And yeah, I can understand that, although not entirely. Defrauding 60,000 people out of their pension isn't exactly nothing either. But in any case, it's almost all men in prison, and it's almost all violent offenders. What's the female equivalent of antisocial personality? And it's much more subtle. But a lot of it is reputation destruction and exclusion, mean girl syndrome. When I studied antisocial behavior, and particularly at McGill, I studied female and male antisocial behavior. Male antisocial behavior tends to be much more physically violent. And so most of the people...
So keep in mind that, like, with that being said, we have to keep in mind something. If a Muslim woman like gives you attitude and like she just is like unpleasant, then chances are like that's from the damage that she decided to put herself through by following these non-Muslim Western women. But anyhow, I'm gonna try to find that lecture for the next video where this woman, she just pretty much shuts down feminism in every single way possible. I gotta find the video, but for those who tune in, thank you. Maybe I'll go for another 30 minutes, but my message of this is just basically you have to guard the things that are going to like basically take you to the next step. And those things are your intellect, your body, your soul, and your heart. And so this is what I'm saying. But I need to find something let's see what else. Let me see if I can find this. Let me see. I don't know if I can find this video. Chances are I can't. Maybe we can go back to the Muslim video about oh shit.
Eat salt. You don't want to eat salt, but we're gonna first thing she went about salt. You gonna put salt?
Quick question for you. What do bad breath and your poop have in common? And did you know that it's related to weight loss?
Don't think you're first. I never really thought about it. What do you mean? It already comes with sodium anyways. It's like, man. And then everything else is like my plastic plants will die. I can't take care of plants, man. My wife is the exact opposite. She names her things and she waters each and she talks to each one of them. I'm like, I don't got time for this. Yeah. I don't got time for this. Men don't like, come on, let's get moving. So yeah, so there's a feminine energy that women naturally have, the way they carry themselves, their tone, the way they speak, that makes them attractive. Yeah. When they try to challenge men with masculine energy, the man will say, okay, good. But you're never going to match a man with masculine energy and then you're going to overwhelm him because men are used to men. That's what
I don't know why they think that's attractive. I still, it still boggles my mind why they think sounding like a man is attractive, having like a manly ass voice. Like, why do they think that shit's attractive? That shit's not attractive at all. That shit's not attractive. But they think it is for some reason. I don't know why. They think that shit is attractive.
we do every day, every single day. That's just how we, yeah. So a man, if he tries to have feminine energy, he'll never match a woman. You just, like, look at the homosexual relationships, right? The men and the woman, there's always the man and the woman.
There's always a guy who's more alpha and one who's more.
Even the guy who acts feminine, he'll never match a woman's femininity.
No.
Right? It doesn't. It will never match. And just like the female, the two females, the one who acts very masculine will never match, become like a man. You can't. You can try to imitate, but it's not going to be ever that same. So,
well, you know, unfortunately, some of these women think that, you know, they're strong as men and they're as like, how should I say it? They think they're as like capable to do certain things that men do. You know, I don't know who told them that, but for some reason they feel that way. I don't know why, but, you know, what do I know? But you do encounter, most of the time, you will encounter these women who feel that, you know, not only can they challenge a man, they can also like fight a man. And I hate to say it, but I think it'll happen with Muslim women too, where Muslim women will think of it that it's appropriate to try to like maybe even assault a man.
because something naturally is part of our fitra, the way we act, the way we are. And it all is biological, by the way. When we're in our womb of our children, in our womb of our mother, men get a shot of testosterone. Otherwise, our brains are identical. Men and female brains are identical. We get a shot of testosterone, which specializes the left and right hemisphere of the brains, which allow men to do certain things and make advantages and disadvantages. And then when we go through puberty, we get another shot of testosterone, which again creates features that are very, very different between what men and women look like, facial features and stuff like that. So again, it's once again that brain gets a second shot. So men can do certain things that women can't do. Women do not like hearing that. And there's many things women can do that men can't do.
And also, I want to add something. I think men, when we're looking for a spouse, or when we're looking for a wife, one of the things we want is we want someone to, I don't know if this is the correct term, but maybe we want someone to rely on us.
Yes.
We want to feel wanted. We want to feel wanted. We want to feel like I'm here to.
You want to be in a position of authority, respected.
Authority, respect, but it's like when you're qawwam over somebody, they're your responsibility. You're their caretaker. That kind, from that
You have,
aspect too, right?
if you a real man, masculine energy has a strong instinct to provide.
Yes.
Strong. So when you see a bunch of guys going for lunch together, I pay. There's like an argument. If they can afford it, they want to go out of their way to pay. You don't see the same arguments with women. Sometimes, okay, I'll pay. It's not the same strong instinct that I feel like providing, that women don't have it. And we, no matter how much we try, we don't have the same nurturing instinct that women have.
Yeah. So when you meet a girl, a sister, and then she's all talking about all her career and her advancements, and then you're kind of like, well, this is all you're talking to me like you're talking to you about my domain. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's great, but that's not why we're necessarily.
Yeah, it's not just being respected. It's like I want to earn that respect. And if I'm competing with you my currency for earning respect is providing for you, caring for you, X, Y, Z. And if you're competing with me in that domain, then how am I going to earn that respect that I'm craving so much? Good point. And the men want to feel needed.
Yes.
If I feel like, and I tell this to my wife, and tell my daughter, I have 2 daughters. My daughter, I cannot remember, wallahi, I cannot remember the last time that she said the word I love you to me. My youngest daughter, I do not remember the last time. I don't know how many years it's been, maybe probably more than 6, 7, 8 years. She's never said the word I love you. I say I love you to her all the time. She never uses the word I love you. Even if I say I love you to her, she'll respond back to me. You know what she responds back every single time? I appreciate you. The reason why is I taught her from a very, very young age, the way you want to feel loved is the way a man wants to feel appreciated. The way mama needs to feel loved. I need to feel appreciated. So when you say I appreciate you, Baba, that means I love you too. That's my language. As long as a man feels appreciated, he'll go above and beyond to make you happy. So if sisters say, well, I like to feel loved, so let me just make my husband feel loved. And then he's like, well, I don't respect him. I may not do other things, but I will make sure he feels loved. And it doesn't work out that way. It's the 5 love languages issue, right? Yeah. Just like you can make your wife feel very respected, but you don't love her.
It's like, I respect your opinion, but I would put a lot of thought into this, but we're not going with it. Like, what? I thought you loved me. It's like, no, I respect you, right? I gave it a thought. No, yeah, and that.
And that's the thing that these women don't understand. At the end of the day, like, we just want cooperation. I don't give a shit if you say I love you or none of that shit. I don't give a shit about that. I give a shit if I give a shit if you know, I don't want to like go, I want to keep it PG. Give a shit if you are gonna like, if I'm in the mood, you're gonna be there available when I'm in the mood. If I'm having a long day's work, what are you gonna do to like ease that long day's work? What are you gonna do to ease it? That's what I care about. I don't really care about like I don't really care about that lovey-dovey stuff.
That's an issue where we're speaking over each other. No one's communicating along the same lines, and this feeds into another problem where. Maybe the gender roles are a little fuzzy. We're each operating in domains that we're not traditionally in, and there's not a lot of guidance out there to navigate this space because I mean, as I feel like as social media has grown, you know, as Instagram has blown up, Facebook, these apps, I feel the problem just gets worse and worse because it goes back to what you were saying about nafsi, right? Like the guy wants, you know, I just want the most beautiful girl. Yeah. Right. I know a guy, I don't know him personally. There's a group chat with, you know, my wife and some other people. They play matchmaker on it. One of the guys, they've been trying to get him with a girl. Guess how many girls they have sent him via like Instagram profiles? 15. Try 150. Get out of here. Are you kidding me? I wish. They ran out of girls. I'm shocked they had 150.
It's like I got to the bottom of Instagram. I got to the bottom. There's no bottom.
I think at some point when I was keeping a list, like, oh no, that's one. I was like, well, this guy, I don't think he was gonna marry. Like, there's no way 150 girls and you can't find one that you think is pretty. Like,
you know what it is? It's the fear of missing out. So people are like, oh, there must be something better. There must be something better. When they get this is something that you guys said earlier. You guys are both married. FOMO, yeah. So it's just pronounced it as FOMO, FOMO. So people don't think we're saying something else.
Yeah.
Okay. so what the whole thing here is like the fear of missing out. That's what it stands for. So what's it called? Fear of missing out. Is it fear?
Yeah,
fear of
that's
missing
it.
out.
Yeah.
So fear of missing out. So they keep in the swiping world, those dating apps. As long as you keep swiping,
you get someone new.
You keep someone new. And you're like, well, he doesn't have it. Oh, she doesn't have it. She doesn't have it. She doesn't have it. You keep going and going, and then you feel disappointed because.
So keep in mind that when it happens with these Muslim women, they're hypergamous as well. You know, they're hypergamous too. So, you know, with Muslim women, it's not about how many rakats you make, it's about how big the bag is too. They'll be like, he makes 50,000, he makes 70,000, he makes 100,000, he makes 125,000, he makes 200,000, he makes 250,000, and so on and so on and so on. I say this because I've seen it happen firsthand, and a lot of times it doesn't even have to be it doesn't even have to be a non-Muslim. It doesn't even have to be a Muslim man. It can be even a non-Muslim man in certain scenarios.
You haven't found someone that has it all. And the reality is you don't have it all. See, this is the part that no one wants to hear. You come up with a little wish list, and do you think that's what called effort? You pray istikhara, you make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then you make your wish list, and then you're done. That's tying your camel. That's not tying your camel. That's basically you making an entire wish list of what you want, and that's only the first step. But even if you do that, then what? Then what happens next? They go to the sheikh and you give him this wish list like he's Santa Claus. Say, please, sheikh, can you please give me this? And the sheikh will look at it, and look at you, look at it, and look at you, and they start laughing. And like, sheikh, why are you laughing? And you say, well, let me ask you a question. This person, if this person even does exist, let me ask you a question. Who do you think they would marry? You think they would marry you? If a person that you find with all these characteristics, would they marry you? I'd be like, I don't know.
Yeah,
well,
you want a 10 out of 10 and you're a 7 out of 10.
Yeah. People who are 10s want 10s. But the thing is, people who are 10s don't want 5s. But you, who happen to be a 5, you think you're a 10. You're not a 10. That's why they don't want to tell you. You're not a 10. Well, he should love me for who I am. Well, you're not a 10. 10s want 10s. If you want a 10, then become a 10. There are certain things that you have control over that people don't want to work on. Like sisters, and these are some solutions, guys. Like a sister in her 30s. I'll ask you guys an honest question. You guys are married, so hopefully your wives are not watching this, so you guys don't get yourself.
My wife doesn't support me.
Okay. Would you rather have a sister in her mid-20s or her early 30s?
Mid-20s.
If the
Mid-20s.
sister is overweight in her mid-20s, or the girl who's in very good shape in her early 30s?
The girl who's overweight in her 20s, that can be worked on, you know, like, but she'll have to like make a commitment, and you'll have to agree to the commitment that, yo, if we get married, then we're gonna work on that issue. We're gonna handle that issue. It's gonna be a challenge. So that could be worked on. It's not a problem.
Notice, audience who's watching this right now, how these two men have just went on pause. I just pressed the pause button. They're still on pause. This is actually this tape is rolling, guys.
The thing is, I'm not 30 yet. That's also
I'm
a
just
factor.
saying,
Yeah.
if you were 30,
if I was in that, then I might do the bin shape 30. Yeah.
I'd probably say
the mid-20s.
Overweight, mid-20s.
We can work on it.
We can work on it. What she does not work on, this is the way I am.
30s.
There you go. So people who are listening here,
and I'm overweight, but still, it doesn't. It says about it.
So now I'm giving some hope, because actually this is not to criticize sisters. I'm actually giving some sisters who will come and say, "Listen, I worked on my career. I did this, and whatever. Now I want to get married." And you guys are saying I can't get married, so I just give up. No, you don't give up. Age, society, culture, all these people are saying your age, you can't get married. I am saying you can.
Of course.
There are things that are in your control that if you work on, you can outbeat the girls who have the age that you don't have. Right now, society and culture is saying, hey, you don't got the age, game over for you. What we're saying is not game over, because there's plenty of sisters that are way overweight. No one wants to tell them anything, but they're way overweight. And if you decide to take care of yourself and your health and you eat well, now this is the thing, people, it's not just about losing weight. It's about eating healthy, taking care of yourself, and losing weight is a byproduct of that.
It's a lifestyle choice.
It's a lifestyle.
Yes.
And when a man sees this, and this is from females who are listening, it's not, okay, why is the man so superficial? No, we see other things. Let me tell you what this weight means. When, like I had a brother who said, I don't want to marry a sister overweight. I said, why? He said, because obviously it's an attraction thing, but he says, that tells me that they don't have any self-control. That's how he sees it. Similarly, a sister may see a brother and say, hey, he's a very smart guy. He just watches TV the whole time. He doesn't, he's not even searching for a job. He's not going to school. Very, very smart guy. He's not doing any of these things. So what would a sister choose? A guy in his mid-20s
who's like
watching TV. He can tell you all the stuff about any television show you want. Season 3 of this, season 6 of this, whatever. He's
really smart.
Really smart. Doesn't go to school. Doesn't have a job. Doesn't have a career.
I have never heard a guy like that in my life. Like, how, man, I have never heard about that. I really haven't. I really have not.
Guy is older. He's not as smart, but he works hard.
She picked the working hard.
Exactly, because it's a reflection of his attitude and his way of life. Because in reality, even if the girl is young, doesn't mean anything, right? It's the person who's working on themselves constantly. That's a reflection of what kind of person you're marrying, because the weight is just a byproduct of that, all that stuff. And that's why. So aside from the attraction that's obviously there, as you guys would put both of you guys on pause, there's the other element of it that makes it very attractive, of someone who works really hard. So I tell sisters, for your mind, you just say, okay, whoever thinks about physical must be very superficial, and a man can come and argue with the same thing with you and say, hey, why do you care how much money I make? That's being very superficial too. So we're both deep down have this superficial part of us. So if someone's working hard towards it, like let's say you were the couch person, and now you decide, look, I'm gonna start working. I'm gonna start getting myself in school. I'm gonna get myself educated. A girl will find that very attractive, even though you haven't got to your goal yet. And if a girl who's working on herself, even though you hit your 30s, you're working on yourself, you're trying to take care of yourself, a man will find you more attractive than just a girl who's younger. So girls who are listening, there's your hope right there.
And this is for guys or girls, especially, this goes for both of us, men and women. If you're living a good life, like a good Muslim life, and you're chaste, right? You know that most likely you're only going to be in this one relationship. So you want to have the best relationship, intimate relationship with that person. So obviously attraction is going to play a huge role.
Yes.
Right? So it's not just about, oh, you're superficial. Like, no, like for a lot of, other guys, it's like, oh, well, I got one shot, so I'm going to try my best to get the most beautiful girl, right? And same thing for sisters. So
I want the most successful guy.
I want the most successful guy. Exactly.
Yeah. So, but neither are, you can call those things superficial, but these are what human beings are attracted to, each gender.
Yeah.
Which instead of fighting it,
embrace it.
Just embrace it and say, and here's some things that sisters don't know. What they do is they watch each other on Instagram. they see these beautiful models and they say, wow, she's so beautiful, I'll never match up to her. Men, you'll be surprised. We don't have the standards you do. We don't see the details you see. Oh, look how perfect her skin is. Look at her ear this way. Look at her cheekbones. We don't see all that stuff. She looks pretty or she doesn't look pretty. That's it. And whatever you become, you can become the best version of yourself. Many men will find you attractive. But are you the best version of yourself? Mentally, physically, spiritually? Are you the best version? If you are, you will become very attractive for men. There's other things about men that sisters don't know about because we don't tell them. Maybe since you're in this room, since we'll just say that now. If you find a brother attractive, that immediately makes you a little bit more attractive.
Assalamu alaikum. This is an urgent appeal for the people of Yemen.
Doesn't work the way opposite for sisters. Just because a brother finds you attractive, like, ew, I don't want him.
So that's the situation too, right? But again, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. Oh, a Muslim woman in the West may find you attractive, but because she sipped on this feminist super soldier serum so much, she's still gonna have like this. She's still gonna have this notion that you ain't shit, basically. You know, even though like she may be like, oh shit, this brother is it's actually pretty, you know. And so that's the whole thing. That's the whole problem in this situation, is that is that, you know, she may like you and stuff like that, but it's just her feminine ways and stuff like that will not allow it won't basically allow I want to say it won't allow her to just be you feel me, just be like open to you. You know what I mean? Like, so this is the situation that you're going to find yourself in most of the time when you're dealing with like Western Muslim women. So just keep that in mind as well, you know.
But if a brother says, oh, the sister's actually interested in you, and she happens to be a 6, now she's automatically become a 7 just because she finds you attractive.
Oh, wait, so
You see?
Yeah,
the face? He'll be like, isn't it? He'll be like, it just went up one notch because she found you. He said, I think he's very attractive. Didn't she just move from a 6 to a 7?
men
Maybe
like,
an
men
8.
like their pride. Like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. If she was an 8, didn't that just make her a 9?
Yeah.
There you go.
100%.
So, but the sisters don't think this way because you could be whatever, and like, oh, just because you like me, there's 100 guys who like me. Next. That brings us to another subject of egos. Yeah, the biggest egos I come across oftentimes are sisters. Really,
No
by
way.
far. I can prove it to you guys.
I want the proof, my guys.
There you go. I've actually been asked, and every time I say it, I hear crickets afterwards when I after proof. Here you go, guys. You guys don't want controversy because we get a lot of emails after this one, okay?
If you got email, that'd be great.
Get one email. All right, here we go. Let's just reverse this. I like to give this scenario so you guys can see it from the opposite gender's perspective. So when I was mentioning earlier regarding the man sitting on the couch, not doing anything, is not attractive. You can be a very handsome guy who doesn't want to do anything. Sister would not find you attractive, right? Just similar opposite. So let's flip the script for a second. Let's say a man who happens to be very physically attractive, very handsome.
Mashallah.
Let's just say he's your friend, okay? And you say, okay, I have a sister, really good sister I want you to meet. So he meets his sister, sits across like this. You just say, tell us how it goes. They're sitting across from each other. And he just talks about his looks, talks about how handsome he is. He talks about himself a little bit. Talks about how handsome he is, how everyone wants him to model for everything. I'm getting so sick and tired. Islamic Relief, Helping Hand, everyone wants me to be a model for all their fundraiser, the financial people, the La Reba. Everybody wants me to do their ads. I'm like, so annoying. So frustrating. Like, I'm not a model, guys. I am, but I'm like, come on, give me a break. And all this time he's talking about, and then he talks about how he beautifies things at home. He's an interior decorator. He does design stuff, but he doesn't make any money. So he doesn't have a job. He's not going to work. He's been riding on his beauty this whole time.
Well, I hate to say this. I really hate what I'm about to say, but I have to say it. If you're a Chad, if you're a Chad, or if you're a Tyrone or that type of guy, then you will get a pass. I'm gonna be honest, you will get a pass, and you'll get a pass with a lot of these women to the point where they will take care of you. To the point where like possibly society will take care of you. I've seen it happen. Like if you're a Chad, regardless if you're a Muslim Chad or just like a non-Muslim Chad, a female, I know, as crazy as it sounds, a female will lay out like she'll pull out all the stops for you. She'll like pull out all the stops, and yeah. Well, I wouldn't say they were slightly feminine. I would say that they're like, I guess you can say slightly liberal. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say that they're feminine. I would say that they're more liberal than anything else. Yeah, they're like liberal. You know what I mean? They're like kind of like liberal. I mean, they did shave their beards. You know what I mean? Like, well, at least one of them shaved their beards. You know, he kept his beard shaved. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna leave my email right here. And if you guys have some show topic ideas, let me know. And I will surely cover them. You know, like let me know if you have any ideas for the show. And I can do that. You know what I mean? And just like get at me in my email and holler at me and let me know actually what you wanna talk about. You know what I mean? I'll give you both of my emails, and if you have any ideas about what kind of show you want to do, let me know. You know. But right now, like I'm gonna go right now. I've been on for about like 3 hours. But if you catch the replay, it'll show you like you know, of course the best treatment for women is the sunnah, but they don't want that. That's the problem, brother. Like we know that. I mean, we can all agree the best treatment for women is the sunnah, but the problem is they don't want that. They want the, which we call it, treatment. They want the non-Muslim treatment. These Western Muslim women. I hate to say it, you know, I know this sounds very bad. I know this sounds bad, what I'm about to say. I know this sounds bad, what I'm about to say, but I think, like, honestly, a lot of these women don't like the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu salam. And I'm talking about the Muslim ones. Like I truly believe, I know this sounds very, very bad what I'm saying right now, but just based on Clubhouse, like just based on what I've seen in Clubhouse and stuff like that, and what I've seen on TikTok and stuff like that, I think a lot of these women don't even like the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu salam. You know, I really don't think they like the Sunnah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I understand where you're coming from, you know, but I just think they don't like it. I really don't think they don't like it, because if put it this way, if listen, if they like the Sunnah, right? If they liked the Sunnah, of the Prophet alayhi salatu salam, then they would reject feminism. They would have rejected this. They would have rejected. They would have rejected the they would have rejected like this Western third wave super soldier like feminism. So this is why I'm saying I don't think they like the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu salam. I really don't. Okay, here's the thing. Even with the material lifestyle, right? Even like having nice things, right? There's nothing wrong with having nice things. There's nothing wrong with having like a nice things or anything like that, right? But the problem is that they now worship those nice things. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, like there's women who actually worship, they worship Birkin bags. You know what I mean? That's the thing. That's the problem. Is that they worship Birkin bags. So when you see them worshiping Birkin bags, it's like, wait a minute. You care more about that than anything else? So that's the problem. That's what we're at right now. You know. Yeah, you're allowed to have nice things, but it's just that, you know, these Muslim women have like gotten to a point where, you know, these nice things control them. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's why I said, like, I hate to say it, and I'll repeat it again. I really don't think they like the messenger of Allah, alayhi salatu salam. You know, they talk. I mean, I hate to say it, but they follow Sunnah of Cardi B and Kardashians more than they follow like Aisha or Khadijah. I'm gonna be honest. And then when you do talk about following them, they say, "Oh, you're just picking and choosing," and they try to bring it back on the guys. But I mean, most of the time, guys don't have a choice but to follow the Rasul alayhi salatu salam. Because if they don't, they're going to end up like doing like these crazy things that these non-Muslims are doing, you know? Yeah, I'm going to look at the hadith. I'm going to look at the hadith. I'm going to look at the hadith. But that's what I'm saying. Like the way these women act, like it just gets worse and worse and worse. That's the whole thing. It gets worse. Well, the real haters are, as I said, bro, like when you hear like a Muslim woman, right? in the West, and she uses terms like city girl. She uses terms like period and stuff like that. Then just understand that that's like, it's a wrap. You know what I mean? And so that's what I'm saying. It's like, are you really gonna risk, like, are you gonna risk your Acura for just like for these Muslim women? But anyhow, like I'm gonna go now, but please feel free to like leave a comment or send an email on like a topic you guys want me to cover, because I'll for sure cover the topic. If it's a good topic, I'll for sure cover it. But thank y'all for tuning in, and inshallah, you know, let's keep each other in our du'as that, you know, we wiggle this Western storm that they put us in if we're in the West. But anyhow, assalamu alaikum rahmatullah barakatuhu. And John Rama.